It's Sunday again. Went to church, and I didn't feel ready, but the music leader asked me to sub in on drums today. I almost told him no, because I just didn't feel ready. It went well. And of course, you know, there's the physical side of things. I only missed one beat during practice. During service, everything went just fine. Felt pretty good by the end of it. And I know that's not what worship service is for and all that stuff, but at the very least, I take it as a sign of progress. I do feel like I need to be doing more, but after everything that's happened, I'm feeling kind of apprehensive about reaching out and doing more. I'm sure there are plenty of naysayers out there that will go one way or the other with it. Oh, you don't deserve to do this, you don't deserve to do that, or, well, the fact that you're not doing it makes you a horrible person. I mean, there's a saying out there, haters gonna hate. I'm not really fond of that particular saying, but not because it's not true. Anyway. But it went pretty well. I was on my brother's bike, and there were some motorcycle ministries there. They were doing bike blessings, and I don't know if it'll bother my brother or not, but I went ahead and had his bike prayed over. And I know that some people, many people, probably don't even put stock in that, and it's fine if you don't. I'm not doing it for you. I just thought it'd be a good idea. And got up there, hung out for a while. A lot of my concerns about the congregation there were laid to rest. Things are going in a positive direction. The only thing that doesn't seem to be lining up right now, money. And like I've said in previous videos, I've always had trouble making money. I mean, there was a time, like I've said in previous videos, I worked 3 jobs. And even working those 3 jobs, we were still always broke. Not because we were spending tons of money, but because I just couldn't seem to bring anything in. 3 jobs, 2 of them full time, still couldn't bring in enough money. Anyway, there are people out there who think that because I'm not making enough money, because I'm not killing myself like I was in the past, which they called me a deadbeat then too, when I was literally dying, that there are a lot of people out there who think I'm a deadbeat because I'm not killing myself to make $1. And I can see why, and I'm not really going to tell them they're wrong, because technically they're not. But I don't want to just provide money for my children. If my children don't get to have me in their lives, then money is all they're getting. And that's not enough. Families existed before the first coin was minted. Children existed before the first gemstone was ever found. Money is a man-made construct. Commerce is a man-made construct. It's there in order to put a measurable value on a product or an item. Unfortunately, this world turns on a dime now, and it doesn't make it easy for people to just live. Now, just because I don't want to dedicate my life to destroying my body to gain money does not make me lazy. Yes, I know there are plenty out there like, oh, no, that's exactly what that makes you. No. I'm not lazy. I'm just not stupid. Because I'm always working. Just not always making money. And the disconnect is between the money, the working, and the money. I'm always working. I mean, for the most part, I do work full-time hours. I just don't get full-time pay because of my circumstances right now. And I'm not even talking about the divorce. That's a sidebar when it comes to finances. So I'm just trying to make money now without having to sacrifice what time I do have with my kids. Because I still have to fit church and counseling in. And when I hang out with my kids, I really want to spend as much time as possible. I want the judge to award 50-50 custody. Okay? But without having an adequate residence for me and for kids, I don't see the judge doing that. So, unless I can get something that's adequate, that I can maintain within the next 3 weeks, I probably won't get 50-50 custody. And I'm already planning on the likelihood of paying child support, because the way the system likes is the man's paying child support no matter what. 50-50 custody, man pays child support. Man gets custody of kid, man pays child support anyway somehow. And that's probably not a super common occurrence, especially since most men don't actually get custody of the children, even if the mother is a strung out druggie all the time, and I'm not claiming that my soon-to-be ex is that, because that's one thing she didn't really do, was she didn't do a lot of drinking, and she didn't do drugs. And that's fine, that's good. But I've seen it. Even when the mother is always strung out, always drunk, always wasted, she still gets custody. Because the court's position is the mother is the natural caretaker. Mother is the better option. That's not always the case. But whenever we initially separated, I thought, and it didn't take me very long to think about it. I process cause and effect logic a lot faster than some might suppose. Another reason why I'm hard to convince on things. I really am very difficult to convince on things. If you want to convince me of something, I have to see proof. Or at least the logic has to add up. And anyway, so once she told me she wanted a divorce and wanted me out of the house, which legally I could have stayed in the house. She couldn't have actually made me leave because I'm part owner of the house. But I thought, okay, Do I have the resources to take care of the kids? No. Do I have the resources to maintain the house? No. The house must go with the kids because they need a place to live. Okay? I cannot take the kids with me to a place that has no room for them. And really isn't a healthy place for children to be, or really even adults. It's just circumstances. But anyway, so I don't have a good place for the children to be, so I can't take them with me. Okay, well, I could have kept the house, but can I maintain it? The answer was no, because I didn't have the resources. I didn't have a job that would do it. So she did. The logical answer, for the sake of the children, was she gets the house, they stay with her. What I wanted to do was tell her, no, you leave. Your mama's 2 doors down. I'll keep the kids in the house. But I had to do what was best for the kids, not what I wanted. I'm not a deadbeat father. In fact, up until this separation, I was there every day, taking care of the kids in whatever capacity I was able at the time. Which, for the last year of our relationship, I was there. I was the stay-at-home dad. For 6.5 years before that, I was working. And the 3 years before that, I was working. And the year before that, I was working. No, I'm sorry. The year before that, I was not working. She was working. Another instance of she made more money than me. It happens. Sometimes that's just how it goes. But before that, for the 2 years before that, I was working. So in one capacity or another, either financial provider or care provider, I was there for my children. I love my children. I'm not a deadbeat, I'm just broke. That's not the same. People look at a man as only a resource, something to make money, a walking ATM. If a man doesn't provide money, then he's not doing anything for his kids. Even if that man is a stay-at-home dad, he's the one taking care of the house and the kids. He's a deadbeat because he's not making money. And that's not really how that works, but this is the society we live in. I'll go up the stream a little bit. Well, it's supposed to be a stream, but it's a little dried up. Anyway, not that really matters. But anyway, I went off on a tangent. That was a pretty long tangent, wasn't it? What was that, about 5 minutes straight? I want to make enough money to get a house where my kids can visit me half the time. I want 50-50 custody, so I can spend as much time as I possibly can with my kids. But I don't want to rob them of their mother either. So, to that end, I gotta make enough money within the next 3 weeks to provide myself and the kids with adequate residence. Unfortunately, that's not likely. The highest paying job I ever had wouldn't be enough to do that. I mean, right now, she's not making a whole lot less by herself than she and I were together at our previous jobs. I don't know how she manages it, but everywhere she works, she's able to make money. Some may say that's divine providence. I think it could be. I never wanted ill for her. I don't even now. I'm actually very angry at her. And even now, I don't want bad for her. But I also don't want bad for me. And I don't want bad for the kids. And the crazy thing is, that's what it's been this entire time. Throughout the relationship. I wanted it all to be good. We did a lot of fighting. I know a lot of blame is coming my way from her and her family, but the only one that wasn't me that was there for all those fights, no, I won't say the only one, was me and her. She and I, whatever. Spiders. Oh, hey, I cut myself. Anyway. But her mom wasn't there for any of the fights. Her brothers, her sisters, her aunt, none of them were there for any of the fights. Sometimes the kids were, and that's something I kind of really regret. You should never let your kids see you fight. A couple of my friends were there for the fights. But anyway, never could understand why we fought. I found the spider. Anyway, I never could understand why we fought. Now I kind of know why. I know that there are people out there who are saying, oh, well, we fought because I wouldn't do what I was supposed to. But even when I was doing what I was supposed to, we still fought. Even when we were making more than enough and we could do extra stuff and even go on vacations, we still fought. I went off on another tangent again. Anyway, I'm trying a bunch of different avenues and looks like I'm going to have to get an extra job again. I'm trying, but right now it looks like I'm going to have to choose between making money and seeing my kids. Which once court time comes, once we're standing in front of that judge, it will no longer be a choice. Because the judge is going to say, okay, well, you don't make enough for me to be happy, so you can't see your kids. But if I work enough to make enough to see my kids, I won't have time to see my kids. Every time they see me, they talk about how much they miss me. I miss them. My greatest dream just taken. But I have to keep reminding myself that regardless of how it turns out, whatever is supposed to happen will happen. If I'm not supposed to be able to see my kids anymore, I could be the richest man on earth. It won't happen. If I am supposed to see my kids, if I am supposed to get 50-50 custody or see them every other week, which I guess is the same thing, but anyway, doesn't matter how broke I am. I have to believe that Whatever God wants to happen will happen. There's nothing that anybody can do to change it. I just have to prepare myself for either eventuality. No matter how I feel about what might happen. Well, this video has been long enough. I think 20 minutes is probably a little longer than most people want to watch. I am trying to cut my video time down. It's always so much to say. Y'all have a good night, and remember, there's a whole world outside of you. What you see, what you want, what you feel like you need, only has to do with you.